space, okay, no space, let me call it no space, no spaces, to be username dot, the name of the function I want to call is stream, of course, open and close parentheses. Sometimes these parentheses can take argument, but in this case it's taking none. So I can now print username without space. So no space, no spaces, is just going to print the username without space. How do we now confirm? Let's check the length property. Of course, this one is 13. Let's check the length property. Dots, let's call dot length on it to tell us the number of characters it now contains. So it's having 10. So this one is having 13 initially with the spaces, and then this one is having 10. So the spaces have been removed. So this is how we remove white spaces. This is very useful when you have a form, let's say a form that is accepting you use for a sign-up form, user sign-up form. So you want to remove whatever the user has entered as the username or password before storing to the database. You want to make sure that you remove any white space the user must have included before using the is a way of sanitizing the data. So that's the trim function there. So the next one function I would like to talk about is the character as a particular place, at a particular location. Let's say, okay, let's talk about index. Let's say index of a character. Let me use that for short. So we have this let's declare index to be, let's say we have this username, and then I want to find the index of u. So of course index of, then I want to find the location, the index of, let me say, of course this username is, from what we can see here, is simple user. I want to find the index of m. What index number is m occupying? So I can easily console.log index of m. So it's going to return the index number for m. So it's occupying the fourth index. Of course, you know that if we look at this, is using this username. There are two spaces here. The index, the computer indexes start from 0. So to clarify that, let me not use username, or let me not use username. Let me use message. Okay, let me use first name. Index of m in first name. Index of m in first name. So we're having 2. So this is first name. This is first name. So this s is 0, a is 1, and then m is 2. So the index is starting from 0, just as we learned in the array session. So that's how we get the index of a character. So the next one is the character. If you now know the index, you can find out the character that is occupying that index. So character at a given index. So let's character at, so let's say we have this. Okay, let's still continue to use first name. First name dot, that's the property. That's the method name. Then so this method will take an argument, which is the character you want to find the index. Let's say you want to find the index of what? The character occupying, sorry, the index of 2 in first name gave us 2. You want to find it. So at index of 2, so it's going to be character at. So I think we are good to go. You save and run. So it's giving you m. So m is occupying the index of 2. So that's how we can get the character occupying a given index. So there are some methods for changing cases. Let's say to uppercase. There's a method called to uppercase. So like this. And then so we want to change, okay, message upper. Let's call on message dot to uppercase, just like that, and then open and close parenthesis. It takes no argument, so it will print out our message, all of them in uppercase letters. Then we have similar method called to lowercase, just like that, to do the same thing. Then I want my message to be in to lowercase, so it will print the message in everything in lowercase. So those are the two methods for you can use to change case. I don't want to litter this place with the console.logs. So there's also another method that you can use to split convert strings into arrays. For example, let's say I have this list of colors here. I want to turn them into arrays so that this blue is an array element, this red into an array. I want to convert these whole strings into an array, and the point of splitting, wherever you see, the point of splitting is going to be wherever you see comma, that marks the end and the beginning, the end of the first array and the beginning of the next array of the array element, sorry. So to do that, we have this split method. So this one turns strings to arrays. So we have these let's call it color array. It's going to be, we call on color, I think it's colors dot split, and then we provide the, okay, first of all I want to show you something. If I call on first name, for example, let me call this first name array. I want to split first name, for example. So I have first name array. I want to print first name array. That's what I want to print. Remember, first name is just a simple name. Now first name is turning, I didn't provide any arguments here. First name is just a basic string, and then it's turning just that string into an array. So there's only one element. You can see the length there is 1. So, and now I want to turn it into an array at the place where you have, let's say, m. Split at the place, turn it into an array at the place where you have m. So when I do like this, see that it has split into an array. So you have the first name, you remember, is Samuel, so you have SA and then comma. M is supposed to be here, so it has split at that place. So there are two elements in this array. So that's it. So we can provide, for example, okay, let me use this without, and then copy and comment. So we have the colors. Let's turn this colors array. So let's use colors. I think this will be more meaningful. I want to split at the place where you have a comma. Then colors array is now going to be colors array. So it's going to split. It has split at the place where you have comma. So there are 5 elements in this array. So that's the split method there. All right. The next method I will look at is how we can replace a string. Let's say which one should we replace? Okay, I have these text. So I'm having fox and fox. I want to replace this fox with dogs. So I have let me put it this way. Let's replace. I'm running out of variable names to assign all these things. So I'm having, let's say, replace to be, okay, we call on the strings text dot replace, and then we want to replace fox with dogs. That's what we want to do. And then let's call replaced. Let's name it replaced. So replaced. Let's look at what replaced brings out. So we now have the quick brown dogs jumped over the lazy fox. Now you can see that it's replacing fox with dogs, but there are 2 words here that has this fox, but only the first one is replaced. So that's what this replace method does. If we want to replace all, that means we have to match a regular expression to this. So let me copy this because it's similar. I'm really sorry that regular expression is beyond the scope of this JavaScript. So how we put a regular expression, we put a pattern. So in this pattern, I'm going to have, that means search for whatever that is fox. Notice that there's no quotation mark, just the forward slashes, and then I want to search it globally, so I put this G flag. So replace all fox, anywhere you see fox all through, with foxes. So let's look at what this produces. So you can see that the whole fox, all of them have been replaced. So I'm having dogs and I'm having dogs. It has been perfectly replaced. So that's what replace function does. There are a collection of 3 other methods I want to talk about, and these methods are, we have slice, then we have str, and then we have string. These are the 2 methods I want to talk about. And then to discuss these method, basically these methods are used to pull out part of a string, that's what these methods are used to do. So let's say we have which strings are we going to use? Okay, let's use text. So console dot log. So I want this to be with slice. So I want to slice. So first of all, of course, the name and then slice. This slice method will take two arguments. One is the start and then the end. The start, that's the index number of this text you want to pull out. So okay, we have a bit of the index to the beginning of the space, a specified function of string object returns. Okay, what this basically means is so I have this text variable that I want to pull out. Let's say I want to pull out brown from this place to this place out. That means I'm going to specify the index number for B and then the index number for N. Then when I do that, it's going to pull away this brown out of it. So I don't really think I'll be counting the index number to know. So but we can as well just test and use the index of method to find the index of B, and then use the index of method to find the index of N, and then combine it to look at that. So basically I want to pull out text occupying the fourth index up to the end index is going to be, let me say, 10. So those are the strings I want to pull out. So I have, oh wow, quick. So if I now put maybe 15, so you see, wow, it's getting perfect. Well, let me put 18. Okay, so you see like that. So from the fourth, the character occupying the fourth index up to the character occupying the 18th index. So that's what slice does. And then I'll copy it because it's similar. And then the next one, I want to sub-str flag is there. So is basically almost the same thing. It's just that the only difference that this one you specify the starting index number and then you specify the number of characters to pull out. So here if I specify 10, it's going to start from the fourth index number and then pull out the next 10 characters after that. So let's look at this. So you can see the next 10 characters after. So if you count this, you are going to get 10 characters. I'm getting 5 here, I'm getting 4 here, plus the space, which is 10 characters. So if you now put like 20 from the fourth index number to the next 20th character. So what this basically needs is, so you call sub str and then specify the start, and then number of characters to pull out. Whereas this one we call dot slice, you specify the start index. Okay, let me call it start index and then end index. And then the next one is similar to this. You specify start and end index. So that's sub string. So I call sub is there already. So I specify the start and then the end, of course the same thing. So string specify the start index and then the end index. So when I do this, so it's going to print out from the start to the end. So I think this is not all the methods there is, but I think these are the basic ones that we can lay our hands on. You always have the Mozilla developers network and Stack Overflow and other resources online available to carry out for that test. So that brings us to the end of this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and then remember, if you have any question, I'll be more than happy to respond to them. So you just drop your questions on the platform and I'll do my best to attend to them. Thank you so much.